Sup, roomie? Class got out a little early today, so, Oh. Hey, don't panic, don't freak out. Smells a little like, sulfur in here. And, well, those candles. Oh, don't worry. Literally, don't worry about it. Hold on, what's that book you got? What's that? No, it's fine. It's fine, okay? Let's see what you've been looking at. Oh. Okay. Summoning circle. Clearly, but... Okay, well, I'm gonna be honest, there seems to be sort of a misunderstanding here. Is this what you were working on? This, right here? Okay, well, see, the problem is, alright, if I just, there we go. You see right here, this symbol right here, because you're trying to create some kind of infernal closet or method, right? Elemental construct. The thing is, creation of a construct like this is more within the domain of transmutational magic rather than summoning and conjuration. And so you've crossed these two disciplines, and that is just like a recipe for right. Right, this is... Sorry, I think we're probably both gonna have to explain some stuff. To start with, so I came in here and I saw, lights dimmed, candles, sulfurous smell, musty old leather-bound tomes, and you looking all sheepish and stuff. And I guess, because back when I was younger and like my sisters were studying magic, I helped them a lot. And so I see you looking all awkward over a spell book, and immediately like the older sister instincts activated. But here's the thing. You're human. You're mortal. And messing with this, like... Fact is, like, say a spell like this, right? It's a pretty simple sort of augury / divination spell. And this one is pretty well constructed. This one is definitely like, you've done some good here. The fact is, if you screwed up and this spell blew up in your face, that would be it, This one here too. I mean, if you messed up, then bam, you're just dead. I say that like I'm not human. That's because I'm not. I was gonna get to that. I'm just... Right now my priorities are in like another place because I'm worried for you. Because so many of these spells would be just catastrophic if you got them wrong, and you're not durable enough to, you know, survive that type of mistake. What am I? Well, I gotta say, as I was looking through those notes, I noticed a running theme, which was, you know, the eventual desire to summon a demon of some sort. That seems to be a long-standing goal of yours, right? Well, the good news is, you don't need to do that because there's one right here. Yeah, I'm a succubus. Honestly, I was planning on telling you pretty soon, regardless, because I've noticed you've been kind of down in the dumps lately, and it's getting to me personally. But yeah, I'm a succubus from, you know, hell. And I have been living in the mortal world for a bit now. I'm really enjoying myself. I've been enjoying time spent as a student in, you know, the mortal world. It's been pretty good. The thing is, right? The thing is, you've got me really worried right now, and so I'd really rather we talk about you. Yeah, I'm serious, okay? Why were you doing this? Why did you want to summon a demon? I mean, you said you were, in your notes, you said you were working on the elemental construct for the sake of practice. And I looked at some of your earlier drafts for summoning circles, and the binding runes were just all wrong. If, on the off chance the summoning worked, you would summon an unbound demon directly from the deepest pits of hell. And it wouldn't go so great for you. And that... why would you take that risk? Okay. Yeah, okay, that's some low self-worth there. You just don't give a damn. So why not, huh? Okay. Okay, understood. Well, in that case, I think I am gonna have to do some work for you as a demon, as a respectable former denizen of hell. More than willing to write up a contract with you. Oh no, I'm dead serious. I'm willing to do it. Like, hold on just a sec. There. That's better. You know, the glamour does get a little bit old after a while. It feels stuffy. It's nice to be able to let my wings and tail loose for a bit. So as you can see, I'm not bluffing or joking or lying when I say that I'm a demon and that I am in particular a succubus. Now, I don't know what deal you initially intended with whatever demon you were planning on summoning, but I'm going to draft something up right now. I take it you've done enough research to know the basics of how infernal contracts work? You do? Wonderful. So I'm going to actually start just inscribing a few runes into this paper right here. These runes are going to magically enforce the contract so that neither of us can break its terms. What are the terms? Well, given your incredibly low self-esteem, I figured you probably wouldn't care and would just sign anyways. But if you must know, it's a proposition from me to you, wherein you provide me with something I need, and in exchange, I help you tackle those negative thoughts. No, it's not that. Don't get me wrong, I enjoy fun time as much as anyone else, but that's not actually what sustains a succubus. Or it's not the only thing, or even the best. You see, the truth is, we sustain ourselves on emotion. And there's a variety of moral and ethical philosophies with regards to it, not to mention matters of taste. But we devour emotion. And the fact is, positive emotions are the most filling and satisfying and tasty. Which is part of where that reputation we have comes from. The quickest, easiest, and dirtiest way to give someone a pump of serotonin is, well, you know. But at its core, something like that would be like having fast food for every meal. Not great for you in the long run. It's also where we get the reputation for stealing souls. Don't get me wrong, there are demons that do that, but succubi, we don't. We instead sap you of emotion, right? And so that can leave someone as almost a shell of what they were before. Yes, it is a very complicated set of runes. It's almost like making a pact with a demon is maybe not something that a novice with no official training or study should be attempting. Shameful, honestly. I knew your emotions were in the pits, but this is a bridge too far. All right. So, the runes are drawn out. Anything written on this paper will become binding as soon as we both apply a little bit of blood to it. All right? Now, here's what I'm thinking as far as terms go. You are going to allow me to devour certain emotions, in particular, your negative ones. Your anxiety, your self-loathing, your fears and insecurities. I would like to devour them. It benefits us both. I get a free snack. You get the malaise cleared, and, well, we both live in a home that isn't stuffy with negativity. And yes, I did just call this tiny dorm room a home. Anyways, that's the long and short of it. I can add in a clause right here that establishes that I can't take the positive ones, just the negative. Well, yes, I did say that the positive emotions are tastier, but I also said that there are varying moral and ethical philosophies regarding that, and I personally find the devouring of positivity to be distasteful. It's part of why I moved out of hell. It's so bleh there. My sisters moved with me, actually. They've all found their own places at this point. We all have. I'm really proud of them, honestly. They're doing pretty well for themselves. Anyways, I decided, why not? I'll make myself look like a mortal college student, fudge some paperwork, do a little bit of magic charming, and get myself enrolled in a college because, boy howdy, there is so much negativity at a place like this. I mean, you talk about succubi sucking the soul out of someone. No, the stress of juggling a full-time job plus full-time as a student, that'll suck your soul out. And so, I've been finding the people who have been in the most distress and coming into their rooms at night while they're sleeping and devouring some of that stress. Maybe a little creepy, but, a girl's gotta eat, right? In any case, having you as a very openly consenting party who is aware of my nature, that sounds amazing to me. There's also, of course, you can see right here, a term of non-disclosure. You are not to reveal my nature to anyone who I have not already chosen to reveal it to, and are to operate under the assumption that anyone you meet is unaware unless I say otherwise. Can't have people finding out about what I am. I am super not interested in having, a pastor break down my door and send me through a portal back to hell. I don't like it there, so. Oh, yeah, no, I did go to, demon school there. That was a thing. So did my sisters. Like I said, I helped them with their spellcraft studies. On the subject, we can also add an additional clause that establishes that I will teach you spellcraft, but that is going to come with the caveat that with regards to magic, you are going to do exactly as I say, that you are not to attempt any form of magic that I say you're not ready for. I would love to teach you, but I want to make sure you do it safely, and as a fragile, squishy mortal, well, So let's see what we have here. You go ahead and look it over as well. This is, roughly what I have laid out. I think it'll be mutually beneficial. Not even gonna read it. Of course you aren't. And I know it's not because you're trusting of me. I know it's just because you are dealing with some seriously self-destructive nihilism, but hey, we're about to deal with that. We are about to address that. All right. Was this an Athame? That is a beautiful knife. Very well made. Tempered in blood, too. Where did you get this? Oh, I tell you what. My spellcraft instructor would be very, very happy with whoever it was that made this. All right. So what we're going to do is we're just going to do a little tiny prick on the fingertip. And then you're just going to press your finger against the paper. All right? So, ready? Just a little prick. You can go ahead and just blot that wherever you like. Perfect. And now I'll go ahead and do the same. Boop. This really is very well made. A non-magical knife wouldn't be able to penetrate my skin, so. Really beautiful blade. I am going to ask you where you got it. I assume probably in the same place you found all these magical tomes. But, man, whoever gave it to you is like the real deal. And I'm kind of furious with them now that I think about it, because like, they clearly know what they're doing with magic. And they clearly gave you some flawed reference materials. Nevertheless, with that, the contract is sealed. So, now that we have finished talking terms, I am going to tuck this away in an extra dimensional space. Won't bother anyone there, all right? Make sure the contract stays nice and safe. You didn't read the whole thing, and so I might have added a couple extra terms in there, but they're mostly regarding certain negative thought patterns and self-hate. So you might find it's actually substantially harder to think a negative thing about yourself now. Yeah. Self-deprecating humor is just not on the table for you anymore. Sorry. Not actually sorry. It's bad for your mental health. You know, honestly, I think personally, egregiously self-aggrandizing humor is so much better. Like, whenever I screw up, and I do screw up, like, pretty often, I don't, like, talk bad about myself. I just talk about how I am hell's most perfect soldier, you know? I talk about how, you know, how could this happen to Her Royal Highness? I say, I talk myself up. No matter what is going on, I could make the single biggest screw up in history, and I would shout "ta-da" after, right? That's the good stuff. Much better than self-deprecation. Give it a try sometime, because self-deprecation is no longer on the table for you. Anyways, I'm going to start eating now. So give me just a moment and you'll start to hear my voice in your mind. There is a certain aspect of telepathy to performing this type of magical feeding. Naturally, in order to devour one's emotions, you have to be able to touch those emotions, to reach out and grab them with your metaphorical, metaphysical, and mental hands. Which means that I have to be capable of taking a little stroll in your head. Now, what that doesn't mean is controlling it. I can't alter your thoughts, really. The contract has a certain capacity to do so. For example, preventing you from engaging in negative self-talk and that sort of thing. But even that's closer to just body control than actually altering your mental state or your mind. I'm similar. I can't make you think something or make you stop thinking something. But what I can do is I can reach in and find the emotion at the root of such horrible thoughts and draw it out, pull it from deep within your mind, and just devour it. Delicious. Yes, I did just mentally swallow a thought. Like, telepathic communication and interaction is weird and confusing if you have never done it before. You get used to it. You will. Oh, God, especially if you ever meet my sisters. It's sort of like a habit that we all form. We just talk mentally to each other. It was initially a way to practice telepathy, but now, I mean, oh goodness. If you ever meet my cousin Aoife, she is even worse than my sisters. I don't know that I've ever heard her speak a single, actual verbal word in all the time I've known her. Nevertheless, how about I reach in again? Reach and dig deep. Claw my way into the source of your anxiety and draw it out and devour it. It might take a bit because you have some things you need to process. This is no substitute for therapy, mind you. I'm not addressing the root of whatever this is. I'm just alleviating the emotional impact for now. But it's so deeply ingrained at this point that I'm probably going to be wandering around your mind for a good while. Not that I'm complaining. It's a very filling meal for me. Oh, it's disgusting. Negative energy of all kinds tastes foul, but I fundamentally refuse to sap you of joy. It's just not who I am. I don't think it's right. You want to be very grateful that I'm the succubus doing this. Outside of me and my immediate family, any other succubus would have written a loophole in the contract and drained you of everything, perhaps only leaving the negativity. Or perhaps leaving you with no emotion at all. Just a husk. But that's not what I want for you. Because I like you as a person. I wouldn't have revealed myself to you otherwise. I would have come up with some excuse. I would have claimed that I was just some student of magic. I wouldn't have told you my true nature. If I didn't like you, I would have left you to your self-destructive spellcraft until you were inevitably blown up, which would have happened eventually. Probably very soon if you actually intended to attempt the construct manifestation tonight. That one was doomed to fail. Now, I'm going to continue feeding on you for quite some time. There's no obligation that you remain awake for the process, and in fact, it tends to go easier when the prey is sleeping. So, if you would kindly close your eyes and lie back and allow yourself to relax, I can promise that you'll have sweet dreams tonight. I will make it so. For you, now, it's sweet dreams every night. Dreams that I'm happy to provide. Oh, mortals. You lot are something else. You really, really are. I love you all to death. That's the real reason I left hell. You're just such funky little mortal creatures. I love watching you do your thing. And so I'm going to do everything in my power to make sure that you live a happy and fulfilled life. So, there. I'm gonna just keep devouring more of your self-image issues.